Television Network, TSPN, and now back to authors, writers, books, and beyond. This program also streams live on the web at tspntv.com and can be watched on demand at tspntv.com or TSPN TV's YouTube channel. And now back to authors, writers, books, and beyond.
Welcome back to the final segment of Authors, Writers, Books, and Beyond. This is the March show about the Gold Rush Writers Conference. And I'm going to ask Antoinette May to give you the conference website.
Oh, yes. Please go to goldrushwriters.com or call me. I'm in the phone book, Antoinette May Herndon, and I'll be happy to tell you all about it. If you're not able to do the whole conference, you could come for one workshop. We'll work it out. We'll make it happen. And call me.
That's a big deal, folks, because this is an amazing conference. So if you can only come, Friday night's the picnic lunch.
Friday night.
Saturday's the big pack day. And what time do we end on Sunday?
2 o'clock after lunch.
Yeah. You can focus in on that.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk just a little bit, because during break we were talking about the books that influenced us as readers as a kid. Do you want to go ahead, Mary?
Oh, well, I started out with the Laura Ingalls Wilder books. My mom read me those. I just sent my niece the Ramona Quimby, the first of the Ramona Quimby books. But you probably, with your first graders, have that.
I love her in kindergarten.
Those were great. Those are great. But now, I'm an unfaithful book lover. I love all kinds of books. Cara Black's got a new book out. She writes the Amy LeDuc series.
She's been a headliner at the conference.
Oh, she has. I haven't. I need to get the new one yet.
Yeah.
So I love Amy LeDuc.
Yeah.
All the Light We Cannot See, Anthony Dorr. I just read that. I thought it was amazing.
I just
Absolutely
tweeted
amazing.
that.
Oh yeah, it was very good. And then We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves. If you have not read this book, you have to go get it. It's Karen Joy Fowler's. I don't think it's even her most recent, but it was up for the Booker, and it was worth every moment. I had to reread it right away. It was one of those books. But there are others.
There's too many to
There's
tell.
too many. There really are too many.
Yes.
You two want to try?
Oh my gosh.
Favorite book?
Well, I don't know. From childhood, I was hooked on Nancy Drew.
Yeah.
Did you read them all?
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and then there was one special one that was not a Nancy Drew called The Princess and the Goblin. I loved that.
Oh, God. Johnny Tremaine. Did you ever read that?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes. When I was in 7th grade,
Yeah.
our teacher read it to us. What a great story.
The little kid books like Catherine Called Birdie. My mom taught 7th grade, so she's got a lot of these
Of that age,
Yeah.
really, really good books.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, it's funny you should ask. I was next door in Heine Company, a little too long, and I was looking for, but I'm sure they have it. I always like to look for copies of Little Women.
Oh,
Jo.
yeah.
I mean, she was my favorite.
Yes.
Favorite. And then,
You want to show them the one you bought?
yes, I thought it was ironic. Coming over to the show, but this is the first book that called to me.
Literally. Hell with it. By Whit Burnett.
But another person who's teaching this year is Amy Smith, right?
Oh, yes.
And Amy has a
absolutely.
nonfiction book published about teaching Jane Austen in Latin America.
All roads lead to Austin.
But as a grown-up, even though I love Jane Austen, as a teacher, one thing I've really loved is finding her juvenilia, because she wrote hysterically funny stories for her family when she was younger.
She did.
And I think it's just a great model for kids, because I'm also with the National Writing Project as a teacher, and so I'm always really pushing writing with kids.
Are you talking about Alcott or Austin?
Oh, Austin.
Austin and Austin.
Oh,
But
Alcott has some great stuff,
she
too.
does, too.
I've not seen her juvenilia. Now
Well, I don't know if it would count as juvenilia, but it's some of her short stories and her satires on some of the utopian societies are
I had
really
this great
funny.
book buried somewhere in my house, and it's on juvenilia, and it has different authors, modern authors. And there's one of Stephen King when he's about 8 or 9, writing about a witch and a killing, and you can see even then the seeds of who,
He really is.
Yeah, so I just love juvenile. Well, of course, I work with juvenilia every day.
Right, right.
But
Juveniles.
yeah.
I just did some Jane Austen research a little deeper, because I do a Seroptimus tea once a year, a fundraiser for college scholarships for women and girls. And I learned a lot about her I didn't know. I mean, I ordered the Austen, Tea with Austen book, and her lifetime cookbook, what she actually cooked, and it had a lot of her own history. Interesting things about her, like she made her own tea, and she always wrote, and she was the only member of her family that played musically. And she didn't consider herself accomplished.
Really?
But she played every morning. Music was a huge part of her life, which I find interesting as a writer, because I like music in my life too. Just a lot of interesting things. They were a very literary family, and she started, it's kind of in us from when we're born, I think. I think our family unit, mine did, encouraged it. My father was a teacher, and they read to us.
Yeah,
They read to us, with us, and as we got older, we were encouraged with them present to read to each other, and we weren't just shoved off.
Well,
and
that's the importance of stories, too, to learn and live someone else's life. You learn
Beyond
empathy in a
yourself.
way you can't when you're stuck in
You
one
move beyond
place
yourself,
in one
I
time.
don't know if I'd be a writer if I hadn't had a mother that read to me when I was very small, too.
Yeah.
Really. She was so good at it. Even when I learned how to read, I still like to lie there and
It's true, there's something very
And luxury.
comforting.
There
about
really
it.
is.
it's very, very...
And children really do love to sit on someone's lap and be read to. They like to hold a book still.
Yeah.
My son has very direct and loud ideas about what book we will read tonight and in what order, and
And how old is he?
he's 2.5.
And does he have favorites already?
He does, and sometimes I have to hide them because I'm so sick of where the
Yes.
of the
same with my
Lorax
grandkids,
again. So yeah,
They get their favorites, and you have to just read it till you...
you do,
Yes.
and now it doesn't help to hide it because he knows. He knows that book is in the house, so
That's wonderful.
it's fun, and then you get to do the silly voices, and
It's a lot of fun.
We all do that, don't we?
I know.
I read Monday, it's Grandparent Monday in Sacramento with my 3.5-year-old grandson. And he had a board book version of Are You My Mother?
Oh, okay.
And we take
Oh,
Dr.
okay.
Seuss and read it, and then we take it
Yes.
home. And the board book does not have the whole story.
Oh, and he knows.
He knew. Where is the old
Yeah.
car and where is the boat and the airplane? You tell that birdie mommy to fly to Target and go buy the whole book. And he was looking forward and backward. So it's important. I think it's, I don't know, it's how I was brought up. I don't know any other way.
He's a literary person already.
He's very literary. They know them by heart. Does your son memorize them?
Yeah, I probably could say a few to you right now.
Whether you like it or not, it's stuck in your brain. Yeah.
Deep in the grass. Yeah, no, I won't. Burden you.
Well, I married an avid reader. Did you?
I married a mathematician, but he is a reader. And he enjoys books and he enjoys stories, so.
I married a mathematician. That's a great title.
I married a
That is a
mathematician.
good-
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you
My
guys?
husband's a programmer, but he is a prolific reader.
He is,
I've
Charles
never
is.
met anyone who reads as much as Charles does.
Joe could probably give him a good run for his money.
Yeah, they should get together and have a read-in.
It's funny, readers who aren't writers tend to devour books with a great veracity,
Yeah.
whereas writers, we take our time.
Yes.
A bit
You're
more.
analyzing it, too.
Well, it
'cause you're
takes
Yes,
more
you
time
are.
to figure out how it
Yeah.
works.
Do you edit as you read?
Sometimes, I mean, especially at first when I'm getting into the voice of an author, I'll switch words around in my mind. But after the first 30 pages, if I'm hooked, then I give in.
Once you hear the voice.
Right, and if the voice is very strong from page one, I don't. There's no need. There's no.
You're already caught.
Yeah.
That kind of leads me to another question for your workshop, because you're talking about, bringing things out you might have given up on. Can their voice have changed as they've grown?
Your voice does change as you grow older, and your insight deepens. And I think it's the depth of insight that allows you to recognize in a story that might have the bare bones of the inspiration, but not the depth. And that insight that you grow, that grows with your ability and your skill, that's why it takes so much time, and that's why it takes time to recognize. Not all writing is with a pen and pencil scribbling your 5,000, your 1,000, your 250 words a day. A lot of it is an act of learning to see. Artists know this.
Yes.
Anybody who paints or works with the visual arts understands that half of your job is to learn to see more accurately what you're trying to do. And it's harder with fiction
Yeah.
because it doesn't yet
Yes.
exist.
Yeah.
We're
So you
creating
have
it.
to put something down and then learn to see it.
That's something that's invaluable from your workshops.
I think so. Yeah.
I think from,
First time I met Tony was at her workshop.
that's how Pam and I met, was at The first 5 pages, no Lupin.
The first, really?
That workshop, yeah.
Really?
And a lot of the conference attendees were in that workshop. Lou
Oh, that's
and
right.
Jennifer
Yes, yes.
and Jamie Murphy.
Yeah.
Almost all of them, actually.
Yeah, Lou and Jennifer will be back as
We travel as a
workshop
pack.
leaders this time.
Well, before we wind down, can you just give a couple more descriptions of other workshops?
Oh,
What is Indigo teaching?
oh, Indigo.
love that
We're so fortunate to have Indigo Moore back again. He's going to be talking about playwriting and bringing poetry into writing, which he does so beautifully. He's really an inspired wordsmith, I think.
Very much so. And I think he has an update for us from
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
because he had a play good in New York.
Yeah. New
Oh,
things
wow.
have happened in the last 2 years. We're really excited to have him back. I'm awfully happy that Lucy Sana will be flying out from Madison,
I'm so
Wisconsin, to be
excited.
part of the workshop.
Because our novel will be out in
Yeah,
June.
in June.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think she'll have a few advanced copies.
Oh, I hope so. I'm
It's a
looking
great
forward
book.
to it.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, well, we are going to shut down for this month. Give us a call if you're interested here at the station. Look up some of these books we brought. You want to hold up a couple, just amazing.
Yes.
And
This is my book in French. You can get it in English.
Should have brought the English.
Yeah.
here's another one of Helen's. And, if you have a favorite, I'd love to hear from you. I'm only here once a month so I can write, not here every week. Okay, we're going to say goodbye. We're winding down, and we will see you next month.
Yeah.
For Scott Thomas Anderson on journalism, and hopefully Jamie Rubio. Thanks.
You're watching Amador County's local television network,